Here's our list of the 5 most underrated streets and neighborhoods in Alameda. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Struzyna. This is my wife, Kristin. We're with the Gunderman Group at Keller Williams Luxury, and we are really excited to bring this video to you. A lot of times we talk about the best neighborhoods. We did just put a video out about the 5 best neighborhoods in Alameda. We'll link to that up here. Now we're going to talk about the 5 most underrated neighborhoods in Alameda. There's a lot of people want to know where the up-and-coming property is, where the place that everyone isn't looking, and what's the thing that people are not paying attention to. Well, here are a few that came to mind for us when our clients ask those questions, and we're going to go through that list right now.
So before we dive into number 1, Alameda is an island city in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's in the East Bay, just across the estuary from Oakland. It is both the main island and Bay Farm Island, which is actually a peninsula, and it's a great place to live. Hans and I have lived here for over 10 years. We work here, we play here. It's just a fabulous place to be. With that said, where are the most underrated places? Number 1 on this list is the West End. So this is an area that is framed by Webster, Central, and Lincoln, and it's really not an area that people think about when they think about Alameda, but it's a fabulous neighborhood. Not a ton of turnover in this neighborhood, so people like to stay there quite a long time. All the streets are quite slow. There's a really strong sense of community in this neighborhood. You're both walkable to Webster, but also they've put in this fabulous bike path that will take you right up to the base, so you can go up to Spirits Alley, go check out the breweries, go play soccer at the Palladium. There's lots of access, and then you're quick on and off the tube over to Oakland as well, so it's really well situated. It's also walkable to the beach at Crab Cove.
The second most underrated place in Alameda is what we're calling Central Alameda. It doesn't really have a name like the Gold Coast or the Fernside, but when you look at the island, it's kind of the middle. What we're talking about specifically is the neighborhood between Grand, Clement, Lincoln, and Park Street. Now, what we find here is historically that's been a really industrial area. You will find a lot of, in particular, auto shops in that neighborhood, but you also find some really charming properties, some really fun little communities, some blocks that are just cute as anywhere in the island. And it honestly feels like probably the area where you can see the most appreciation because of some of the development that's going along Clement, access to the water that's being added through some of those condo projects and park projects that are going on as well. And in general, it's pretty easy to get to Park Street, get off the island, and you are in the Alameda High School district. So that's why we put it at number 2.
So if you're curious about these neighborhoods that we're describing, or any of the other neighborhoods in Alameda, Hans and I put together an Alameda relocation guide, which we have linked to down below. So go click that link and grab a copy of that. That'll go much deeper on all of these neighborhoods, talking about the schools and what we love about each neighborhood, where to eat, where to play, all of it. So make sure that you go grab a copy of that. Now on to number 3 on the most underrated areas of Alameda, and this is going to be Alameda Avenue. Alameda Avenue is a street that comes up from Alameda High and goes up towards the Gold Coast. And it's really a charming tree-lined street, beautiful, not a lot of traffic on that street, so you'll see a lot of people walking and biking it. And obviously it's got really easy access down to Park Street, so a lot of people will walk down there to dinner. It's also easily accessible to other parts of the island, like the little pockets, like where Blue Dot Cafe is. And so it's just perfectly situated right in the center of the island with beautiful homes on that street as well.
Yeah, it really is romantic. Another, on our 4th spot on the list, is this little corner between Otis, the Lagoon, and Park Street, there at the corner right across from South Shore Center, which is Cedar and Laurel Street. Again, another little pocket that's got a lot of mature trees, some really beautiful properties, and is kind of tucked in this corner. And it's really accessible to not only to Park Street, but to South Shore. It's quiet generally. Once you turn the corner and get onto Oak, it gets a little busier, you get a little more traffic noise from Park Street itself. But these two are set back enough, and it's just this little oasis in the corner there that gets overlooked quite often. So if you do see a house for sale on either of those streets, make sure you go for a look.
Finally, number 5 on our list of the top 5 most underrated areas of Alameda is a little pocket in the East End that is right at Jackson and Grove Street. So this is in the East End, which is already a very desirable area of the island. And Jackson in particular has really deep lots. So you'll see larger lots there, homes with big backyards, and it's also a tree-lined street that's very quiet. It's just one of these pockets that when you see a home come up, it's always a good one to take a look at. It's also really accessible to Encinal Market and Feel Good Bakery, which are right around the corner and just a couple blocks away.
Now, the only real downside to those is that you do have to cross what is considered a relatively busy street to get to almost every school, at least the public schools that you would be attending there in that district on the East End. But in general, it makes up for it because of the large lots, tree-lined streets, and just the quaint architecture that's there.
So that's it. Those are the top 5 most underrated areas of Alameda in our opinion. If you live in Alameda or have lived in Alameda in the past and you think that we missed something, make sure that you drop a comment below. We would love to keep the conversation going and hear what you think on this one.
Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the video. If you got some value out of it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. As well, if you want to go deeper on all these neighborhoods, the relocation guide down in the description is the place to do that. So without any further ado, I'm Hans and this is Kristin. We're signing off for now. See you on the next one.